Hello guys and welcome to the channel. In this compelling conversation, Kevin dove deep into the realities of relationships as he engaged with a 28-year-old caller who was grappling with her past choices and seeking guidance on increasing her value and finding a fulfilling partnership. Let's watch how Kevin gave the caller a much-needed lesson in accountability.
Oh, what you got for me? Do you have a child? Okay.
So I have a question. I am a baby mama.
Okay.
I am I'm nervous. Sorry.
That's all right.
I guess I want to know, how do I increase my value? I'm not necessarily looking for a high value man. I'm
How old is your
looking for,
child?
my daughter is 9.
Uh, what does her father do for a living?
Her father is in the military.
He say what?
In the military?
He's in the military.
Yes.
Okay. What's his rank? Or what is? I mean.
What's his rank?
Mhm.
E5.
Okay. So you have a, and what do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse.
All right. So I did a program talking about the kind of women high value men avoid, and nurses, and then women who were married to former police or military. I'm gonna
Yes,
tell
sir.
you,
I'm not.
huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
sorry.
why I said that, because you want to know how you can raise your value, or what your value is on the market.
I guess my question is this. Let me try to word it correctly. I'm so nervous because I just started watching your show for like
Don't be
maybe
nervous. I mean, just as long
it's
as
the
you're
fourth
polite, we're
one.
fine.
This is the fourth show, and I never thought I would call because, like, I'm kind of scared of you. But I caught myself calling today.
She froze up.
Dating.
Okay.
I'm in a relationship with someone, and marriage is what I want.
Okay.
And I do know, like, because I have a child and he doesn't have a child, I know how that could affect the relationship. And when you were talking about how guys think,
So I need you to
so
get. So you're dating a guy. You want to get married.
I want us to get married, but
Okay. Do you want to get married, or do you want to marry him?
having a child, is that going to affect it? We talk
Okay.
about it, and
Stop. You keep pausing out. I need to understand. Do you want to? I mean, let me do this. Let me stop your video, because maybe that's the problem. Do you want to get married, or you want to marry him?
I want to get married, and I
Okay.
want to marry him.
How long have you been dating him?
2 years and a half. Well, it's more than a half. It'll be
So
3 years next month.
all right. He doesn't want to marry you.
Is that what you're getting, or is that what you're asking?
No, I'm telling you, he doesn't want to marry you.
Okay, why do you feel that way?
Uh, you're a baby mama.
Okay.
All right. And he's been dating a baby mama for 2.5 years. Has he proposed to you?
No, sir.
Then he doesn't want to marry you. It's a real simple calculus. Men know going in whether or not they want to marry the woman they're dealing with. You want to marry him because you got 2.5 years in it and your kid knows them, and it just makes it easier. But you didn't require marriage for 2.5 years of your time.
I did, but
No, you didn't. You did not require marriage for 2.5 years of your time with him. So you're afraid to try to push for marriage because you know, just like I do, he's going to end up stepping. If you push for marriage, this is what's going to happen. He's going to be out. That's what's going to happen. As soon as you push a marriage, he's going to say, no.
well, oh, okay. Why do you feel that way though? Can
Because
you
I'm a
like
man
help
and I
me
know men.
understand?
Ma'am,
Okay, so
ma'am, if he
with
wanted
us,
to, okay, ma'am, if he wanted to marry you, what's stopping him?
no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't feel as if I don't know if anything is stopping him, but I just
Yes,
know in like
yes,
working
there
on
is something that's stopping him. He doesn't want to. Why is it this so hard for you ladies to understand that men know if a woman is a marrying type or a side chick or a girlfriend. If he wanted, he is single with no children. Why would he want to marry you if he's had you for 2.5 years? He's not proposed to you. Has he talked about marrying you?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Has
We've
he?
talked about it.
How long ago?
We just both finished school. That's the thing about it too. We were both pursuing.
Right, right. School. So when you're in school, you can't get married. You know, there's a law in the United States that says people in school cannot get married.
I just didn't
How old are
want,
you,
I mean, I'm 28.
ma'am? You don't like the answer, but in your heart, you know what's true. You bring up
So
the
what
sub.
should I do?
Well, I'm sorry, man, but if you want to get married, this is a dead end relationship. There's nothing stopping a man. Okay, so tell me how this couldn't happen. 6 months into the relationship, he could have went down and bought a little silver wedding ring and said, "Hey, F, I want to marry you and I want your child to be my child. I want to marry you and I want to adopt your child." Now, we're both in school. We both ain't got no money, but do you have an apartment?
Yes, sir.
Does he have an apartment?
Yes, sir.
So you see how you could have saved money right off the bat 2 years ago if you just would have got married and moved forward. If he really wanted to marry you, that rent that he would have saved or you would have saved, let's just call it $700, which is more than that, but we're gonna call it $700. That's $8,400 in rent a year. That's 16,000, almost $17,000 in rent saved alone in your 2 years. That's how men think. You would have saved around $20,000 if he really wanted to marry you. He could have married you years ago while you were in school struggling. They don't want to marry you, lady. And I know you don't want to
Okay.
hear this, but you didn't make it a requirement.
Okay. Well, without going into, I'll take that. So I guess, what advice would you give um, a person like me that wants marriage and I guess is not
Well, why didn't you
requiring
marry
it
your
the
baby
right way?
daddy? That's the first thing I started. Why didn't you marry him?
I would love to have married him because I would have loved to have my family together,
Why didn't you
but
marry him?
he he proposed, but I don't know if it was like the cultural
Hold
difference.
on, hold on, hold on. He proposed. He got on one knee, presented you a
Yes, sir.
ring,
Yes, sir.
and proposed to you.
Yes, sir.
And you turned him down.
No, sir.
You accepted.
Yes, sir.
And then why aren't you married?
And then his mother didn't want him to get married to me.
So you married. So you had a baby for a pussy.
Yes, sir.
So were you already? Did you already have a child by the time he proposed?
Yes, sir. We had our child first. Well,
Stop.
he's older than me.
Stop.
hmm
How much older?
5 years.
So a man who's 5 years older than you, y'all got pregnant. You had a child. He proposed to you. You accepted. Who broke off the engagement?
I did.
All righty then. Case closed. You broke off the engagement. He didn't. So I don't want to hear shit about his mother or anything else. You left. You left.
I had no
I don't want to
choice.
hear shit about his mother. You left. You blaming it on his mother and the culture, and other people will hear that. I'm a man. I don't buy that shit. You left. He proposed to you. He did what he was supposed to do. You ended it.
Okay, so I guess maybe I should say he ended it if that's the case, because
Who
I
ended it?
had to accept. I
Did,
had to accept what he was saying at that moment. And the
exactly.
moment
Okay.
was like,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
my
whoa.
mother.
Stop. He wanted to marry you, right? He proposed to you. You already had the child, right?
Yes, sir.
Then, so since you want to do this, let's do it. You already had the kid. He proposed. You accepted, but you didn't get married because you had to accept what?
You're tough.
No, I'm
Well,
real. You left your baby daddy and you left your fiance for what reason?
He left me, basically. He wasn't, it's nothing that I could really explain over the Zoom, but it's all right.
Ma'am, you bounce between you left and he left. At the end of the day, who ended the engagement?
He said, my mother doesn't feel like my mom doesn't feel like I should marry she wants me to marry somebody the family wants. So I just took that as if, okay, then apparently you guys don't want me. So I just kind of sat back. I still was trying to pursue my family and everything else, but at the same time, I can't do what you're not doing. Like, he was military. He was never here. When he came in town, he was with his mother. He's a great father. He comes get
Well,
her.
unfortunately, ma'am, I have to break it to you. This is why you don't have a child before you get married.
I know, and I
Well,
didn't
I'm
want
sorry,
to.
ma'am. And here's the thing. I get it. But again, the tears, I understand them. But the
Because
work,
you're really like,
no, ma'am, I need you to understand because you said I'm tough. But it
you
sounds to me
are.
as though you don't want to hear, but it sounds like you need some of this because you live in a fantasy land. You're not
No, I've
married
had
to,
tough
listen,
all my
ma'am, I'm gonna mute
life.
you. You're not married to your baby daddy, and you're in a 2.5 year relationship with a guy who doesn't want to marry you. Maybe tough is what you need. I'm sorry, the men don't get to cry about our mistakes. You're a grown woman. You're not underprivileged. You didn't get pregnant at 13. You were in your 20s, got pregnant to a mama's boy. And you knew he was a mama's boy before you got pregnant. And because he tried to do this and he said, well, mama don't want you this. Look, I don't care how you slice it. That's the legacy of your kid. And you wonder why the guy you're with is saying, see, you ladies don't want to hear the truth. You want people to say, "Well, it's okay, sis. It's all right. Bad man, bad man. Your baby daddy's a bad man. Your boyfriend's a bad man, and you're totally innocent in all this. Your feelings are got hurt, and it doesn't matter. And then as soon as you start crying, guys are supposed to say, well, no, queen. No, I'm not. That's not me. No, you're a grown ass educated woman, and you decided to make a bad decision having a child before you got married, and you in this country, I'm in this country. You know that's a horrible way to do things. You're not a high school dropout. You're not a freaking orphan. You're a college educated woman. You should have known better. And because you didn't, I get it. But you don't go ahead and compound stuff by acting like you don't know any better and then going to get into another relationship with a guy who may have thought you were a great person, but you've been with him for 20, 30 months. And there's nothing stopping him from proposing to you. He doesn't want to marry you either. So instead of sitting back saying, you're tough, you need to ask, why am I dealing with men who don't want to marry me and I continue to linger on and try to make it become something that it never was? So if that's tough, call me tough. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Go to the next caller.
There you have it, guys. In this compelling exchange, the caller's resistance to accepting accountability became apparent. Kevin's unapologetic approach served as a much-needed reality check, reminding her that tears cannot overshadow the need for self-reflection and personal growth. Despite the discomfort it may bring, tough love is often necessary for real transformation. Thanks for watching, and be sure to let me know your thoughts on the call in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Relationship Report for more thought-provoking content. See you in the next one.